All right. We'd like to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makakudash.
You know, double honors to our apostles, our bishops, our elders, and honors to all the Akim that's pushing this truth out of sincerity, week in and week out, further and condemning America and Esau's rule. All right? You got it.
Matthew 24, I'm going to start at 4. It says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many.
Yeah, so, and that been happening. You got false prophets and those that, you have men coming saying that they was the savior. You know?
It says, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
And we're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. I don't care if that noise go, I'll repeat myself. Hear wars, rumors of wars. And that's what's been going on throughout the earth, man. World War III, we might be in the midst or nearing it.
It says, See that ye be not troubled.
Yeah, we not troubled. We not fearing these things. We know that these things must come to pass.
Right. It says, For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
And it's not yet. What's going to be the thing that signals the end? When it's mandatory mark of the beast. When it's mandatory that the world has to get the mark of the beast.
It says, For nation shall rise against nation.
One country against one country. One nationality against another nationality. One class.
It says, And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences.
Famines. So it's going to be a nationwide and a global famine. But America's our sinful kingdom. There's going to be a nationwide famine here in America. No food, no water.
It says that there shall be famines and pestilences.
So there's going to be diseases where people going to get it and they might die within a day or two. The first people that come into contact, they might die within minutes. That's what we're waiting for.
It says,
one hit a quitter.
Got it. It says, And earthquakes in diverse places.
Earthquakes in many different places around the world. They're going to start starting up again, where millions of people are devastated and put to death because of that.
Well, an earthquake happened last night in Morocco, whereas now it's reported since last night, they said over 1,200 people was dead and the body count is still rising and thousands are missing.
Isn't that area, that rich area?
It's in Morocco, over in Africa, you know what I mean?
All right, cool.
So then
you know, I'm mixing that up with another area, but you got it.
And then you got floods going on in Greece and in Spain at the very same time.
Floods,
people are missing.
And people missing, so death. And the floods cause devastation, man.
You had people hanging on the trees, trying to survive the night. You had one survivor, which was a young dude, like 16 to 17. He was hugging on to the tree. He said he didn't know how long he could last. He was hugging on to the tree for like damn near 3 days.
So the Lord's visiting spiritually.
Hugging on to that tree. Imagine that. Holding on to a tree for 3 days, bro. No food, no clean water. Just holding on to a tree, hoping to survive this torrential rain that's up to your neck. You holding on to the tree and the shit's on your neck, flies by, and if you see people flowing by, you can't hold them. They reaching out to you, you can't do nothing. Cause if you let go of that tree, that's your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that current, man. Yo, that's how I don't want to blind, but that's how a lot of people, you brothers know how violent Rockaway Beach is. The water could be this low, but that current is what be catching people. Undercurrent. In the yeah.
That's your way itself.
This is 2nd Ezra 4:37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor stir them until said measure is fulfilled.
That's right. So the Lord makes calculated, the Most High and the Lord are calculated. They make, in order for this to happen, this has to happen. chain of events. That's how they move in order.
That's right. I got a
Like
precept.
how they had the, a lot of the dominoes, flip the dominoes, and one fall after the next. You hit the first one, the last one can't fall. That's to get to the last one.
That's right.
Same thing with prophecy.
That's right. I got a precept going backing you up with the measuring the times. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself.
Now how do we measure? Now how do we measure the times? All right, by looking at the prophecies. All right, that's how we measure. That's how we measure in the times.
That's right.
We looking at seeing in the scriptures, and then we seeing the events that happen around the world and around us.
It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made.
So that's meaning the Lord is beginning to visit. That's why we watching these things. That's why we always bringing out, which is bad news to the world, good news to us.
That's right. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world,
It's gonna be earthquakes up, people going against the government, protesting against the government, causing havoc.
and we see that. We see that in the world today. We see uproars of the people throughout the four corners of the earth, whether it's in Argentina, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in certain continents, because you got Africa is a big ass continent. You got different countries within Africa, so-called Africa, the land of Canaan. So whether it's in different spots in the land of Canaan, or if it's in Europe, we see floods in Europe. We see wildfires in Maui. We see fires in brush fires in California, brush fires in the southern part of Italy. The Lord is visiting the world, man. You got it. So let me just read this. It says, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that was before thee, even from the beginning.
Yeah, so like Jeremiah 28 and 8 say, you know, the prophets always prophesied against kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. That's what we doing. Lord willing, we those men. There's nothing new under the sun. So the Lord told us from the beginning. In the beginning, you had the voice, the prophets.
It says, for like as all is made of the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
So it's a beginning and an end. All right, so we nearing Esau's end.
That's right. The end of Esau's kingdom is being manifest through these prophecies by what we'll be seeing and marinating with the scriptures, upwards of the people, earthquakes, famine, pestilence, fires, floods. We're seeing all these things, man. Wars, rumors of wars. We're seeing these things take place in Esau's kingdom, and we know that this devil's kingdom is circling in the drain because we can see it through the prophecies. So it says a little more. It says, for like as all is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and an end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning in wonders and powerful works and ended in effects and signs. And that's what we see, man. We see signs of the end of Esau's empire. Do certain, you see blood moons, you see different things that's happening, you see chariots, sightings, man. So we see that this devil's, rulership is coming to an abrupt end because this is prophesied to happen.
Right. Another indicator when a society is about to fall is when a new nation tries to shift power. Right. That's what we have now with the Greeks. Right before the Greeks, right before the Babylonians went down, the Syrians was trying to take power. Before the Syrians went down, the Persians was trying to take power. So right now, you see that the other nations, so-called Moabites, so-called Chinese, Russians, and what have you, are not okay with the current rulership of the United States. So that right there is an indication that war is next.
That's right. Because what they're doing is, it's called a transition of power. And what they're doing is, you got these different nations, huh?
I got one. I got a big one.
I ain't got a big one, I got a miniature one, I'm saying, but yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get one so I can cover the thing. So what happened is it's a conglomerate of different nations that's coming up against the hegemony of America, and their power over the over the economy, whereas they could sanction you for not following their rules.
Yeah.
And that sanction didn't do well with Russia because Russia started doing backdoor deals with Iran and different other countries selling their oil, you know, and they were selling oil to China, and China was in, and what China would do is buy the oil and sell the oil to Europe. So they were still doing bills. The only one that really felt it was Greece, France,
Have a great day, you guys. God bless.
yeah, you too. Greece, France, Germany, all these different nations that was, you know, following the petrodollar and got hit with that economic sanction. They got hit with it, not Russia. You got it back, bro.
This is 1 John 4. I'm going to start from verse 3. It says, I'll start from verse 2. It says, hereby know ye the spirit of the power, every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai is come in flesh is of the power. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai come in flesh is not of the power. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard, and it shall come, and even now already is in the world. So when you have those men out there that's preaching that Yahweh Shai was never on the scene, that's another indication that, you know, those men can't be men of the Lord, because they're not acknowledging and then they're denying the fact that the Lord did walk the earth. Okay? But then when you have the men that's getting to the scriptures and bringing out the scriptures according to the scriptures, that's an indication that, okay, you know, I should listen to these men. Because you can go in the scriptures and read when Yahweh Shai was walking in the flesh on the earth. It says, ye are of the power, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So we have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that's why we're prophesying according to the scriptures, because he that's greater than us, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is in his men. And all those men that's not preaching according to the scriptures, they're most likely a 2/3 or some heathens, man. So you can't listen to them because they're preaching of things that's going on. They're preaching of things that's not lining up with prophecy in the scriptures.
It's Ephesians 5 and 15.
That's right.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Yeah, so we gotta move in the spirit. We can't be like the people in the world. All right.
It says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Bad times are coming. Financial collapse. We say the same thing over and over again. Nationwide and worldwide, financial collapse. A lack of famine, lack of bread and water. And that goes with medicine and everything, man. All right, you see, they working on getting you jakes out of the hood, and they're just gonna keep on having you like damn near like nomads, man. Push you here, push you there, push you there.
I got a precept because you speaking about famine and the collapse of the economy. You got a lot of well-to-do jakes out there. What I mean, jakes, I'm talking about the 12 tribes. You got a lot of Mexicans that's doing good. You got a lot of jakes, a lot of Benjaminites that's doing good. A lot of Ephraimites that's doing good. But guess what? Yeah, cutting. And then you got a lot of women that's doing good because they got these good ass jobs. So this is a book of Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 25. It says, let me read it real quick. It says, in the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction.
Yeah, when you a person that's prosperous, they forget the hard times, man. You know, and that could lead to pride. They fall from the Lord. You know.
Yep.
I did this on my own. I'm self-made. You know.
And not only that, they filled with pride. They got money, so they feel. You know, money's a defense, and money answers for all things. So they feel they could.
Repentance.
Yeah, you know, they ain't thinking about the Lord because they in their prosperity. But a man that's down and out on his luck, or that's barely making, or that's living or getting his daily bread day by day, paycheck to paycheck, he's calling upon the Lord for some kind of mercy and some kind of salvation. But the person that got money, they ain't calling upon the Lord. Their money is their God, man. So I'm gonna read it from the top again. The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity.
There's no more remembrance of prosperity when you catch your health. When you're in a low condition. All of those good times is out the window. Right?
Yep.
And that's what about this near soon. You know, a lot of people are now liquid, man. A lot of people are now liquid. They own real estate. They got this, that. Huh? Yeah, and they're in debt. So, and a lot of them, they get around the taxes. They use the debt, but all that's going to collapse on them, man.
And that's
like
how these.
The ceiling going to fall on them, like I'm saying symbolically, because it's going to be a time where the digits, there ain't nothing in their bank account. It's going to be zero.
And that's how these devils get you. This is a debt-based society. So the more debt you in, the more these devils got you in their tangled web. You in that web, and you ain't gonna get out, man. Because the only way you're gonna get out, you're a part of the international banking system. Because a spider has a special oil on his legs. We can walk through the web and don't get caught up in his own web. But meanwhile, the average person don't got that special, or the average insect don't got that special shit on his feet. We can walk through the web. And that's how the international bankers move. That's why you got a web on the dollar bill.
Yeah, I was about to say that, you know.
Because you in the web. You caught in the web of this financial banking system, which is a debt-based society.
Yep, and you the prey.
That's right.
I got an article that's from a website called educba.com. It was published on July 6, 2023, entitled Economic Collapse. So it says, what is economic collapse? Economic collapse is a breakdown of a nation's economy due to several factors, such as hyperinflation, high unemployment, death rates for an extended period. And then when you scroll down, it goes into it says hyperinflation. Just to hit a quick points, it says is a rapid and exponential rise in prices in a short time.
Yeah.
It says it vastly degrades the currency value and prevents consumers from buying essential goods. It can be considered accelerated inflation. Then you have other parts called stagflation, where it says it is a period of slow economic growth followed by a high levels of inflation and unemployment. Such sluggish growth slows the economy down and becomes costly. So just check out the site, and it goes into a lot of different breakdowns exactly of what hyperinflation is.
So you got it.
Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Yeah,
Man, that shit is-
borrower is servant to the lender. All right. So you basically playing catch up, or you on a hamster wheel, man. That's that debt. It's already debt. Soon as it come out of the print.
It's
It's not only the debt, it's killed you.
Yeah.
If you can take out a loan for 10, pay additional 5K.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
and you be and what how they do it is you paying off the interest, not the debt. So you still owe the 10,000, but you paying off the interest, and the interest is constantly accumulating because you're not paying it off at a rapid rate. So you paying it off because you living paycheck to paycheck. So every month you gotta pay that debt, but every week that passed by that you ain't paying that debt, it's being XYZ amount of dollars being attacked onto that debt. So you never get out of the debt. You swimming in debt.
Usury like a
The
motherfucker.
longer you have the loan open, the greater the interest.
Exactly, and these devils know that. It's called usury, which is wicked.
All right, and on top of that, if you pay down your debt quickly, guess what? Your credit score drops. Number one.
Exactly,
So
because
they saying like to build your credit, you have to hold this debt for a long time. So they work in tandem.
and you're right about that, because when I first got a credit card, they gave me $2,500 in credit, right? So what I did was I bought some furniture, you know, and I paid it off right away. And it was like, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get more credit. And it was like, nah, yo, it's like, I mean, we have no use for you. That's what you mean. They said because this system is based upon debt, and if you pay it off real quick, I said, but I thought that was a part of the credit card system, lending, and you pay it off right away. You looked at it as a person that's responsible, where you will get more credit. Nah, they was like, no, it don't run like that. You gotta pay it off monthly, gradually. That's and that's how they make their money. They didn't make no money off you because you paid it off right away. I was like, man, fuck this shit. That's why I never got another credit card. I learned that shit early in my years, man.
This is Deuteronomy 23, verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother.
And that's why Esau perfected that. And Esau perfected that with his usury, man. Esau perfected that.
Usually it's like usually is when you just say I borrowed $200. Now I gotta pay back $280.
A big
interest.
A big.
Usually it's interest.
Interest.
And that's also spoken against in the so-called, not so-called, in the Quran. So, like you said, it's Esau doing that. The people, the Muslims, they don't believe in that shit. We're not supposed to do it. So Esau's the one that's pushing heavy that goddamn usury shit.
Fractional reserve banking system where they have how they make their money do debt, man, because they giving you nothing. They giving you nothing of tangible value. They just giving you Babylonian money magic, which is money created out of thin air, and it's no back about anything. So when you take on that $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 loan, when you look at your how much you owe them, you're gonna be owing them damn near $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000, man, off that $30,000 you owe that you borrow. That's how they get you, man. These devils, man, they got this shit locked and reserved how they want it, man. These devils got this shit fucking. Hey, man, these devils are fucking slick, man. That's why they called the devil.
It says back in Deuteronomy 23:19, thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of what is this? Usury of victuals.
Of victuals.
Usury of anything that is lent upon usury. And then when you read it in the NLT and the GAT, this is what it says: do not charge interest on the loans to make a fellow Israelite.
Hey, so if I lend you $100, bro, I'm expecting $100 back. I don't want 120. I don't want 140. I want $100 back. You know what I'm saying? Usually is when I'm like, yo, I'll give you this 100, but I want 150 back. I want 130 back, which is wicked, man. You know, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, cut. Only against other nations. You can't do usually against your own brethren. You know what I mean? Or you can't make a slave. All right, if a brother fall on hard times, he become your servant, but you treat him good. And then after the 7 years, you let him, you release him and give him substance so he can be on his own and he be well off. You know what I mean? But Jacob said, but Esau don't do that. Esau ain't with that, man. Nah, man, you on your own. You fucked up. Remember saying you ain't.
Yeah, no, like in our country too, they had a jubilee, right? So a certain period of time.
After 7 years.
49 years, a man gets released from debt. That right there would solve a bunch of problems right now. You got a whole bunch of people like debt free. That was so close to the economy. And the most understood economy is that eventually people do, after a certain period, get overcome. Shit happens. You gotta borrow, this happens. After a while, you gotta have some mercy on that individual. You know what I mean? But Esau don't have no mercy.
He's the devil. That's why, man.
Even like when you go out to eat, right? On top of the taxes, some places will throw in the gratuity, which is the tips, and then on top of the gratuity, the waiter or waitress, they expect a tip. And then if you don't tip them enough according to how they feel, They caused the whole scene talking about don't come out if you're not gonna tip. Get a new fucking job.
Now, but what is a lot of them understand that the tips come along because they charge you tips when you get your bill. The tips is already in there. So if you want to tip them again, that's on you.
But then even like I think America is one of like the only countries really known for tipping. They don't really do that anywhere else.
Because the people in Europe, the waitresses and the waiters are paid good. You know what I'm saying? They ain't paid punk money and they relying on tips. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women that I know that work as waiters and that's waitresses. You know what I'm saying? They work in these hooters and all that. They get paid on tips. You know what I'm saying? So they rely on tips from people. So if they don't receive no tip, they get their pay, and then the tips that's in the receipt, they gotta it's not on them. They gotta put that in the whole pot, and they gotta divvy it out to different waitresses and waitresses. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you remember back in the days when we was kids, you ever pack bags?
When I was young, yeah.
Yeah, when you was young. So, but now it's like the cashiers, them tip jars be for the cashiers now. In a lot of these grocery stores that don't got the self-service yet.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 16, it says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
Yeah, they're gonna lose. They got their consolation, and they've been tyrants. They use their weapon, their economy, social engineering. They're gonna fall.
What we're talking about really is how the so-called Jews took over the whole earth. Because they lend out, like the Rothschilds, right? They lend out at huge interest. But they don't do that to other so-called Jews, right? Why are they doing that? Because they follow the Torah. We're supposed to be like that. Like, Jacob really can't go for me if we, I'm not saying think like the so-called Jews, but follow the scriptures that the so-called Jews are trying to follow, right? I'll give you it. Deuteronomy 15:6. For the Lord thy power bless thee, as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And that's what the so-called Jew has done. They lent unto many nations, but they ain't borrowing from nobody. If they're going to borrow, they borrow from another so-called Jew who's not going to charge them interest. It says, and thou shalt reign over many nations, they shall not reign over thee. So the so-called Jew right now is doing that, right? They reign over many nations, they run every goddamn thing, but they follow in the Torah certain things in the scriptures that really is wisdom. Lend out to all these nations, but don't borrow from them. If you're gonna borrow from your own people, and don't put no interest on it. That type of thinking is how, you know what I mean?
And that's how these devils been getting along for all these certain amount of years. How do you think they established and conquered the banking industry, man?
Well,
they did that shit through usury and through lending out some money.
Check this out. If I'm a billionaire, right? Both brothers, right? I can give you 100,000, right? And you're gonna pay it back to me 100,000, right? But you can take that 100,000 I gave to you and lend it to another nation at 10%. You just made 10K, just like that.
Yep.
Because you're gonna get 110K back. Give me 100 flat. You don't have to worry about the interest. But that nation, that heathen, you just charge 10%. You just made money off it. So that's what the so-called.
You got $10,000 off that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I paid you back your money. Plus I got 10,000. I can lend this other 10,000 out, and you know what I mean. You get 20,000. You know what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. Whatever. That's how these devils get. That's how they got rich. And then how Mara Al-Shabaab did it was he was hoarding all the gold, and he didn't have the money to pay them, so he was giving them banknotes. You know what I'm saying? And they could change it in. So this devil was sly and slick at how they conquered the banking industry. And that was all the will of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord wanted to happen. You know what I mean? Because he who control the gold, he who control the resources, control everything, man. So you control the resources and the gold, you control everything. That's right.
What that scripture? Scripture I'll read it again. Deuteronomy. Actually, I didn't read all. Oh, I did read all. Read it again. Deuteronomy 15:6. For the Lord thy power blessed thee, as he promised, thee. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow.
Yeah, so an Israelite can do that. They could lend to the heathens. But you know, these so-called Jew, which these Khazars, they're looked at as they stole out our identity and they consider the world goyim. So they flipped everything upside down. So as if they're the Lord's people and they doing what the Lord said we could do, what they doing is everyone else.
Yeah, I understand.
They didn't even come up with that.
And most of them people don't really know. They truly think that they are the chosen people of the Lord's so only the elites of Esau know that they are imposters, they are frauds, but the rest of the people that's over in Tel Aviv and over in the land of Israel, they truly think they're the people, man. The people over in Flatbush, you know, Prosper, they truly think that they God's chosen people, man.
Just like them Saudis, the House of Saud, they really think that they Arabs.
Yeah, but they Arab Nazis, they're crypto Jews, like the people over in Ottoman Turks. They really think they Muslim. But nah, you're Edomites, man. That took on the Muslim religion, man. So they truly believe it, but the elites know who they truly are. That's right. That's why, that's why Turkey was allowed to be a part of NATO. Because those are Ottoman Turks. Those are Edomite Jews, man. Edomites, man. So it all adds up. You know what I'm saying? Once your eyes are open, you understand the history, you understand the mystery of what the hell is going on, man.
That's what the Lord said. I'm destroying this mountain, the veil of the covering cast over all people. What's that veil, covering cast? It's false nationalities, all right? For example, Iranians is not in the Bible. You got Persians, right? So just like at the end of the movie, like let's say, let's use two movies. Let's use Godfather and Scarface. At the end of the movie credits, you see Tony Montana played by Al Pacino. Godfather, Michael played by Al Pacino. So at the end of this movie, you're gonna see Turks played by Edom. Like, you know, the Lord's gonna let you know exactly who is playing who, and that's what we're doing now. As the prophets, let you know, like, no, the so-called Jews really this. You know,
right.
The Negroes are really that, according to the scriptures.
The so-called Chinese are actually, in all actuality, they're Moabites and they're pot washers according to the scriptures, man. They're not going to be ruling they're not second or coming back or coming to rule shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they high in power because it goes with Esau. Esau don't have to be the American counterpart. Esau, Edom, is the Russians too, and they buddy with the Russians. You got a lot of Edomites over there, but guess what? A lot of those so-called Russians are jakes, you know what I'm saying? Because the apostle brought out that during the time of the Dark Age, that's when in like 18 something, 800 something, that's when Russia became Russia. So who was ruling that region over there? You had jakes ruling that region. Why do you think Vladimir Putin brought out the icons of Russia and they was all dark-skinned people? We all saw that on TikTok, right? You know?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. It says, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 44, it says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to them.
That's right. So they're gonna lend to us. So they're gonna always be the bank. We're gonna be the
borrowers.
Basically the serfs of the borrowers, man. We gotta go to all nations for license, for product, legal product, whatever product, but garments, everything. You gotta go to them to get the material. Like, we don't have an industry. We don't have no industry.
Yeah, these guys that are trying to start their own whatever, you still gotta go to Esau.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to protect your business, guess what? More than likely, the attorney might be an Edomite. Or if the attorney's a dick, guess what? His boss at the firm is an Edomite. So you can't go through shit without really Esau being over your ass.
Yeah, right.
Dictate shit.
If you got your own community, you need oil and gas. You know what I mean? So who you going to get the oil from? You ain't got no oil wells. You be dug it for yourself and you producing oil. Who you going to get the oil from? These different nations: Esau, Edom, Ishmael.
Let's say we have all these. Let's say we have let's say we have businesses like the other nations. Do we get the same rates these other dudes get?
Of course not.
When they buying things? No, right? And when they have this thing about, Steve was talking about the Moab in Jamaica, how when they come to Jamaica, they can open their business tax-free for 5 years. And when that's over, they can transfer the business to their relatives. You know what I mean? So they go through their whole life, the whole span of business not paying any taxes. You know? So that's how it's set up, man. We you know, the Israelites, we don't get a chance to really flourish in the society, man. All right? And that's part of the curses. That's what we're reading right now. So back in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 44, it says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
And we ain't lending to them. What we did, they bombed that shit.
Right.
They infiltrated. They set up fucking sellouts of our people and dismantled that. Black Wall Street and all the other Black Wall Streets throughout the damn country. So that shows you that this man, whenever the scale is being tipped and balanced, he come in and he infiltrates.
It says, he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
That's what he the head, we the tail right now.
I'll read verse 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
That's why, because we got the curses on us, but soon they're gonna fall on the other nations. All right, so that's why, like, yo, we always say, yo, all right, we taking our licks, we taking our punches to the chin. So when it's your turn to fall off,
Don't cry.
Catch up.
Don't cry.
I don't know, mercy, no mercy. That show us no mercy, yo. Right.
It says, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Yep, man, we was destroyed by these damn curses. Not like wiped out completely, but yo, in the rank of things, yo, we in the bottom. But we rich, the men of the Lord are rich, but we are the truth. And we know how everything's gonna turn out.
It says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
We didn't listen, and we didn't follow order, and we want to do our own things or do what the heathen is doing. So now we have to be judged, we have to be punished. And punished, that's what we were punished.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. It says, to keep his commandments and statutes which he commanded thee.
Yeah, so we have to keep the commandments. We didn't keep the commandments, we transgressed the law, so we was whipped. We had to be spanked.
This is Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Yeah, so the Lord gonna put the curses on our enemies, man, that persecuted us. Because we're persecuted on a day-to-day basis. All right? We're considered we're considered thieves, the most criminals, wherever you go. You know what I mean? They look at you, turn their back, or just, they give you that look like they watching you or whatever. Now you got some of our people that make us look bad, but they put that stigmatism on our whole nation.
This is Jeremiah 30:18. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places.
Yeah, so the Lord going to remove us out of our slavery and have mercy on us. And that's starting now when the Lord opened the door for us, our mind, and unloosed the seals.
And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof.
All right, so we're gonna get our homeland back, you know, and we're gonna be under Yahweh Shai's rule and established. All right? So it's gonna be order. You know?
Hell yeah, man, I have, rule over people,
Yeah.
many children. Really, that's when the whole shit that a lot of Jake on this side is going to take place. You know what I mean? It says, and out of them shall perceive thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them. It's a lot of fucking.
Yeah,
It's like,
sand in the sea.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, yo, I would love, me personally, I would love to have a whole bunch of wives, a whole bunch of kids, but we can't do that here. But in the kingdom, man, I'm gonna spread my seed like fucking wildfire, man. Go with it. You know what I mean? It says, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few.
Yeah, we're not gonna be few.
I thought we only have one wife.
That's ridiculous, man.
One wife, bro.
Listen, our wives, they gonna be with us, and that's it, and that's gonna be enough for them, yo.
Okay, asshole up there in IUIC talking about one woman, one wife. Brother want to do that, but you can't force a man to tell him you gotta be with one woman.
Yeah. That's what Pastor Moore, dude I was talking on for Rockaway and Pastor. I'm like, yo, one woman. I say, yo, what scripture it say that? Where it say that at? I said, well, yo, where did it say that? I said, yo, he was like, yo, he said, when I was young, I did all of that fornication. I said, yo, there's spiritual fornication, and that's only if you dealing with another man's woman.
First of all, the way the Lord said a man don't stop busting nuts. Always, pregnant a young woman to get her home. So, it says,
Crazy.
even if you look at the act of sex can't go down unless a man allows it. A woman pussy can be dry, but a man, if he's not erect, there's no sex happening. You know what I'm saying? So that it's all about the men right there.
And then I know you want to read the scripture. And then he says, it's a law. I say, yo, number one, he's supposed to get married. I said, married? What you mean? He said, yo, that's why that law is in place to bind them under contract. I said, yo, you putting a third party involved.
Right.
You putting someone else in your business. You know what I mean? He said, no, that was put there. I said, basically that's 501c3, but you got it.
Right, so they're going to take it to that extent. Now, why divorce? The scripture said we shouldn't be doing it. You know? They want marriage to happen. The reason you can marry so quickly is because divorce is so expensive. You get married in 5 minutes, but a divorce can take 5 years. And lawyers are just running the bag up in court. So it's a racket.
Damn right.
It says, shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof, and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small.
Yeah, we're gonna be glorified in the earth. Yahweh Shai gonna glorify us, man. That's where that fame come from. That's the celebrity status, that A1,
Have your own theme music.
A-list, yeah.
I was saying that when we was out there Sunday, like, yo, I can't wait to have my own theme music, because I remember Darth Vader. Every time Darth Vader comes, oh yeah, he has a troops and shit with him, or what have you. And I'm like, yo, that's in Jake's. I want that. You know, my particular Toronto Muppets. And guess what? After Deion Sanders gave his speech in Colorado, he said, play my theme music.
Every superhero need his theme music.
Exactly, like Kanye said. Every wrestler, every comic book, that theme is important. So when you get that royal status, everybody gonna have their own theme music. When okay, this person coming, you know what I'm saying? They make way for Shaman Lord Willing, they throwing the flowers and shit, the horns, the drums. You know what I mean? Whatever you want.
King Solomon, he had a choir, he had musicians.
That's ancient world thinking, bro.
Yeah.
So these other nations, after their slavery, they might be, some of them might be employed to bring the instruments or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But they're gonna be compensated for it, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing them right. Because the scriptures tell you when the righteous bear rule. Scriptures tell you when the righteous bear rule, people rejoice. So when we're in rule, the nations ain't gonna be like how they are on this side, frustrated and shit. They're gonna be happy with rule.
Yeah.
We're gonna do them, right.
There ain't gonna be no swindling or none of that. Because all these other nations, some of them gonna go off because they're not gonna have the fleshly heart. So that judgment gonna be executed. You're gonna have somebody stealing, somebody doing some swindling shit, but they're gonna do that to the other nation.
Yeah, but
and then judgment gonna
right.
come.
But when we give that judgment, like let's say we judge one dude for stealing from another man, that man that we just retributed, he's gonna be like, damn, you know, thank you and shit, speaking the Hebrew, the water, my Lord. So he's gonna be like, yo, these guys are really right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you said it better. That's how I was going to say it.
Yeah, you're right. All these nations they're gonna be happy that we in power. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get a fair shake.
Rock chapter 10 verse 8 it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. That should be a picture of a car czar right next to that, because that's them. That's how they gain the world. Yeah, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Yep, money bag and a hook nose. Yep. Look what they did to the northern kingdom, taking this land. Look what they did to the southern kingdom, enslaving, and then taking our nationalities, our identity, and they constantly doing things, and then teaming up with the other nations after we get out of bondage. Yo, they gonna work for us. They cut us out of the loop with things, business-wise, on a global scale. So they had their secret meetings, the elites of these other nations. They have their people under them on the UN meetings or whatever. So this is a conspiracy.
It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
The kingdom is transferred from one people to another. From so-called white man, these heathens, to who? Israel, starting with Yahushua. So the Israelites, starting with Yahushua and the elect. Alright? Because of that usury thing, that usury racket. But here, when somebody else do that shit, you call it organized crime.
Right.
Racketeer, you call it racketeer.
You took what Jake did with the numbers, made it illegal, and then made the U.S. lottery and all that pick four and all of that.
It's the same thing.
When Jake had it, was more winners.
Right.
It was more winners.
You guys are familiar with something called the Silk Road?
Yeah, that was with the cons, right? Genghis Khan and all of
Oh
them.
yeah, but I'm sorry, I should be more specific. Silk Road on the dark web.
Oh, that was
Yeah. So what they did to that dude was pretty much hypocritical, because pretty much on the dark web you was able to buy and exchange and, you know, whatever. You could sell whatever, legal things. Basically it was created for privacy. But the way they caught him, because the whole dark web was created for the U.S. Navy to not be spied on. It was really for privacy. But they was using it to make their own marketplace. And Esau wasn't getting a fair shake. But guess what? He was getting his cut. I shouldn't say fair shake, he wasn't getting his cut. That's why they target these people. That's why they target drug dealers, because if they can't get in on it, then it's a crime.
Yeah.
But if it,
Yeah. They really, they. After you mentioned, I mentioned what they really rub on them guys.
Right. So you know what they did? They did this also with this one Chinese dude. Dude had over $3.4 billion in Bitcoin. Now, mind you, he was a so-called Chinese person. Mind you, that 3-point-something billion was the money, the Bitcoin he had from so-called. He didn't spend any of it, but he also had Bitcoin that he made legally. And they said just because he did that situation with that, they took that shit and everything. So even this legal Bitcoin he got,
They took it.
They seized it. All that shit.
Yeah, and if you say, oh, because they're doing so-called legal stuff, well, I say the legal shit. Who they came after? Phil Ivey, the Jake poker player. All the casinos fucking banned him because he know, and he ain't even cheat. He just nasty and he know how to see the cards. He know how to see imperfections of the cards.
Right, he was like, that's not on me. It's not my fault that the corners of yours is
And forgive me if I'm wrong. I think that dude Mickey Mays is a Jake too.
I'm not sure who that is.
That's another one. He like to play Baccarat. I'm not good with that.
That's what I was playing. Baccarat.
All right, so basically, they banned him on casinos in America and around the world, the major ones. So then he started bringing his celebrity friends and teaching them. And after a while, he was like, "Yo, they just cast him out." So and whenever the Jake, cause Jake know what to do. So whenever Jake, the Lord shows power in Jake, and it shows that they don't play right, man. You know what I mean?
These devils, man, they never play right, man. Once they see that, all right, it's money involved with it. First, they leave you alone until they see that it's major money involved with the hell is going on. Then they gonna come in. They want a piece of the pie. They're gonna tax you.
You gotta ask yourself too, when they seize all these drugs, what they doing with it? How come I never see a video of them destroying it?
I never see them burning
I
it.
only see them seizing it. I see them seizing the money. I see them seizing all the fucking opium, the coke, everything. Big ass tankers. I see you season it, but I never see y'all destroy it.
Oh hell no, that's a commodity.
Another thing, in Afghanistan in the early 2000s, it was videos circulating that the U.S. Army was over there because the Taliban was burning the poppy fields. They was destroying them. But the American government was like, what the hell are you doing? So they was over there guarding the poppy fields and preventing the Taliban from burning that shit because they banned heroin and the uses of it and the manufacturing of it, you know what I mean?
So they like you said, they give it to the pharmaceutical companies.
Pharmacare, which means
It
witchcraft.
goes to the pharmaceutical. All right, this was seized illegally, but now we're gonna sell it to you at a certain price to the pharmaceutical company. Or whatever
Opioids.
products are using it, or to the medical labs, which basically getting funded down, but you know.
Opioids or even what you call that again? Another one they call it Percocets, the Percocets, and all these different pills that got opiate in it, that got heroin in it. And I'm saying that it's a controlled substance. It's a controlled substance because it's bought in the pharmacia, which means in Greek, pharmacia is witchcraft. You know what I mean? They're selling you instruments that alter your mind.
It's all a scam. That's like all these drugs that you buy over the counter have to come with some sort of side effect.
Cunt.
Why is it keep right going?
This is Proverbs 23, verse 17. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long.
We're in the fear of the Lord. We're not envying what the prosperity of these nations, even our people, what they have. Nah, we fearing the Lord. We're not trying to do what y'all doing. We're not trying to move product like y'all doing. Look, y'all do what y'all do. You know what I mean? It's all fun and games until y'all get caught. And don't call on the Lord when you get caught. Man the fuck up and deal with the judgment. You know what I mean?
Verse 18. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. It says, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 2, it says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing. Yeah, man, so ultimately, man, all these treasures, all these riches that the so-called white man has gained, man, is going to profit nothing, man. All right, so you speak about what, man? Riches profit not in the day of the Lord's wrath. All right? Yeah. So these people, honestly, man, they really just, they holding our treasures, man. Our gold, man. Our precious stones, man. All right? Because all these things is really created for us. All right? So it says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Yeah, righteousness delivers you from death. Not your riches, man. No, ask Steve Jobs. Wealth don't buy health. You know, he had all that money, but that shit couldn't stop him. He started moving with the hunchback because he had the colon cancer. You know what I mean? He had all of that.
I got to back that brother up. He said that, they holding on that for us. This is Proverbs 13 and 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Yep, the wealth for the sinner is laid up for the just. So the just gonna get those riches. Who the just? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the elect of them, the governing body, which is 144,000, 12,000 out of each tribe. That's the governing body. That's the governing portion of the 1/3.
Psalms chapter 83, it says, I start at 1. It says, keep not thy silence, O power.
Yeah, that's what we praying. When we pray, thy kingdom come. All right? We praying, you got it again?
It says, keep not thy silence.
We praying for the Lord not to keep the silence and bring judgment. Speed things up. We hasten the day.
It says, "O power."
Oh power. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
It says, "Hold not thy peace and be not still, O power."
So we want this place to be destroyed and we want to be delivered.
Right.
We ask the Lord to have mercy on us and pray and hope that we want to elect and have faith that we are elect. You know what I mean?
Yep. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult."
Yeah, our enemies, man. Our enemies, the so-called white man, these heathen nations, Elam, the East Indians, Ishmael. All right, you know, and on down, and 2/3 of our people hate us, man.
It says, "And they that hate thee have lifted up their head."
All these nations, start with the so-called white man, they hate us and they lifted up their head. The best form of hate is when they don't tell you they hate you. It's shown economically, man. That weapon, yo. You don't get that job boxed out, or you discriminated on a certain investment. All right. Or so you can even be working in an area legitimately. They call the police on you. Now you gotta prove who you are. What type of shit is that?
You might name it. Police pull up to your house. You gotta prove that's your house, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Like yo, you gotta prove it's your house, man. How many? You got the documents, but some documents you don't like to keep where anyone could get to. You know what I mean? Like this bullshit birth certificate and social. Like yo, I don't walk around with that shit.
Right.
I need that in case some ID get lost. I get.
Dave Chappelle made that joke back in the day. He said, "Yeah, officer, I just robbed this house with my picture of my family on my face all over."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people."
Yep, they meet in secret and they have counsel, yo. How can we further imprison these dudes? How can we make money off the prisoners? How can we further enslave them? How can we see what they do on a day-to-day basis and put some type of thing where we give them a ticket?
Right.
But we see a lot of them, they be sitting on them crates. Well, let's get them locked up for sitting on them crates. You know, which we don't do that shit. Right. We don't advise doing that shit, but Esau's petty. And on a whole other list of things, man, that destroy us, man. They think and they meet in secret, man. Let's stop any of them trying to rise up economically, man. Let's get a few sellouts of them and sell their people out.
It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
Take their nationality, let's break them apart. Let's have them at odds with each other. Let's have them envying one another. Oh, well, let's do this. Let's look out for a few of the tribes and have them envying each other. Oh, yeah, sister, yeah, they do that shit too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's give him more hours than him so it could be some tribal.
It says, "They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
We ain't in remembrance. We're going by bywords. All right? Our identity was taken. Also, economically, man, they can't be at our tables. We can have to pollute their people with the music and things like that. All right?
Hey, real quick, now being you said that, I believe Suki and Sexy Red, Suki and Sexy Red, they use as pawns to further degenerate the so-called black women.
Oh, yeah.
Because look what they're doing, man. Because that's not addressed to her, because you got a lot of women, a lot of older women on TikTok speaking out against that. So that's not addressed to them. They can see through the madness, they can see through the bullshit. But the young generation that's coming up, the 14s and the 15s and the 16s and the 17s and the 20s and the early 20s, that's who I'm targeted to. You know what I'm saying? It's not targeted to the women in their late 20s or early to discuss, like, yo, because you got a lot of women speaking out against that on TikTok. But it's the young generation, the young females that they targeting. They ain't targeting no older generation.
I believe, yo, they be getting targeted like certain females. They need the flower they need at different times. It could be from 11 and up, right? 11, 12, 13. Because how everything's fucked up now. So, you know, you have certain family members and little girls in your family. They might be like into I don't know, SS Sniper, all them little kitty shits that they look on YouTube to now, they want the fucking eyelashes and shit. Man, they want to dress a certain way now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the family's fault, man.
They showed that in the movie Barbie. A recent Barbie movie came out. They showed a bunch of little girls playing with baby dolls, and then they were playing with baby dolls, meaning they're conditioned to be mothers. And then Barbie came out of nowhere. A giant Barbie doll. The first Barbie came. And after that, the girls were idolizing Barbie. Barbie was dressed positive, tight clothes. Pretty much she was independent of the time. So now it's not urgency of being a mother and all that. Urgency now is being a own woman that gets that in there. So they started that shit all the way back. Way back. The introduction of Barbie, changing the lives of how we use the little girls, what's favorable, motherhood and all that. So now it's like, not only is it just about motherhood, but it's more about being promiscuous, being a whole, you know, and it destroys the woman in mind. Every time she speaks to a man, that's a new spirit being exchanged. So good.
And the real quick, the rap industry started this shit going back when who was the first one that started that provocative shit? Little Kim. You know what I mean? In the 90s.
Yeah,
Little Kim, you had Little Kim. You had Patra, then you had Adina Howard, you had Foxy Brown, then you had a list of others that came after because she was the one that first came out with that slutry way of moving and talking about getting popped in a back door, getting a box broken up, getting a back door broken down. You know what I mean? Little Kim started all that, you know what I mean? And then it started the trend. A freak in the morning, the freak in the evening with what's the name? Adina Howard and all that. You know what I'm saying? Then it is now the music is totally degenerate.
Yeah, because in the R&B scene, the females they used to be more covered than they was back then. You had Sybil, Don't Make Me Over. You remember that song? You had
that's back in '89 though, bro.
You had Tracy Spencer. You had Shawnice. You know what I mean?
We going
like
back.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
They was like more covered, and then they started showing the ass.
The average chick now, she get on stage, she got on the bikini with some fishnet stockings rhyming and shit. You know what I mean? Twerking. That's all you see right now. But back in the 80s and rappers, you see rappers say like MC Light. What's the name again? MC Light. Yeah, Queen Latifah. Roxanne Shante. You had what's the name again?
I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of the light skinned chick. What's that light skinned chick that was in Crush Groove?
It's tip of my tongue. You know what I'm saying? It don't come to me. You know what I'm saying? But
Like even that song when some Mix-a-Lot dropped the big butts and shit. Yeah, they had the tight shit, which you're not supposed to be doing that, but you can still see that the cheeks was invisible. Now, it's pretty much the cheeks are out. Like
Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was just, he started a lot of that shit, having videos, having women, naked women, them and naked women. You had Uncle Luke, Uncle Luke Uncensored, where they, on the beach, yeah, Uncle Luke, and women got nothing on, bro.
What
They
was
just,
that crew where they was piping the females on the stage?
Two Live Crew.
Yeah, it was them, yeah.
That's Uncle Luke, Two Live Crew, bro.
Yeah, you remember Ecclesiastes 12 verse 4, it says, and the Lord shall shut in the streets, when the son of the grunt is low. Yeah, these stores gonna be shut down. The hospital's gonna be shut down. You know what I mean? The hospital's gonna be shut down. There's not gonna be any industry, no marketplace. There's gonna be famine, no stores open. So your money gonna be useless. You can't go to the hospital. People gonna die from wounds, infections. You know what I mean? You know a certain leg infection, that shit goes straight to the bone. Ain't gonna be no one to do the dressing, to dress the wound, and wet to dry, and pack the wound, so the skin tissue, the tissues will heal up. You know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah. It says, and he shall rise up at the
Yo.
voice of the bird, the modern day of rise up to the clock. 1 o'clock on your phone, radio, however, the digital one. Now,
It says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
all this music, all this shit, it ain't gonna be no worse than all this music. You know, these cars are showed through, but how they gotta do more things now to get a sell. Because you remember you had some rappers like, yo, they gonna do their own what? They publishing or get their music on a disc. Then they came in and did the streaming shit and fucked them over.
Well, Master P started that with his own distribution. He was selling CDs out of his car. Then he got enough money. You know Master P is, right? From the yeah, Master P. What he did was he started selling CDs out of his car when he first started making music, and then that grew. Then he got enough money and started distributing his own shit. And he was like the key to this rap industry without getting caught up in the web of the rap industry where they could use you and abuse you, is have your own distribution company. And that's true.
This is Ecclesiastes, which is Sirach 30. It's off from verse 14. It says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Basically, your integrity. Your integrity is intact. When you catch a hell where you don't gotta do no shit to compromise yourself. Yeah, man, this shit's fucking. You don't gotta compromise yourself. All right.
They got a hatred for you, bro. They like messing with you,
they
bro.
Out for me, yo. You know, I slayed a lot of them with the other. I gotta make that other chemical. I went on a warpath like a fucking Ghostbuster.
That shit attracted him, bro.
Huh?
You don't even screen that shit. They coming after you.
Cause I'm doing that shit. They mad, yo.
Yeah, they ain't fucking with me. They been fucking with him,
They
man.
doing that shit in Queens. Like, yeah, they put the word out. Hit him.
Verse 15. It says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
That's right.
Mind and health is above all of that. Above all of that, man. You can't be compromised. You know, they can't get us to sell out, man. And that's the Lord. This ain't our might.
Real quick, they're not saying told the Most High. He was like Job saying, he said, all right, you protected him, but touch his body, and I guarantee you, roughly paraphrasing it, he gonna curse you. Yeah. He was at skin for skin. A man would give all he had for his health. You know what I mean? Roughly paraphrasing, you know what I mean? So Job was even, I'm saying the Satan was even telling the Most High, listen, hey man, let me touch his skin. Let me touch him, and I guarantee you, he curse you. But he was like, all right, you can touch him, you can plague him, but don't kill him. Save his life. And guess what he did? He plagued him with boils, and Job was in a pitiful case, but guess what? He did not sin against the Most High. And that shows you that health is better than riches, man. I'd rather be healthy than wealthy and sick, you know what I'm saying, and not be able to use it, and not being able to spend that wealth to how I want to spend it because I'm in a wheelchair. Like that dude, Stephen Hawkins. That dude he was wealthy, but he was a quadriplegic, man. He couldn't do nothing with his money, man.
The Lord turned him into one of them heart-shaped pretzels.
Yo, the dude was
the fucking pretzels and round shits.
You see how he was?
You know how look. No lie. Yeah, you know how much pain you will have and cramps when you can't stretch out your leg or whatever?
Good.
You know what I mean? You ever slept the wrong way? You fell asleep on your wrist like this.
Yeah, you be all twisted.
You woke up, your shit over. Imagine him just like that. You know how much pain he in?
Hey, that started when he was like 18, 19. Cause you seen that the documentary on him, the movie on him. That shit happened when he was like 18, 19. He had a girlfriend and all that. What happened was he was speaking proud against the Lord and proud and doing all kind of things. He was wealthy. Then the Most High just plagued him at the age of 19, put him in a wheelchair. He was fucked up, man.
After that, the Lord treated him.
Huh? The
Lord basically had his spirit like a loosely paper. They do the stick figure of him like tells from the hood, and the ages just crumpled that shit. And next thing you know, he's a fucking heart press.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm saying, bro, he was in the movie. He was having dreams of walking at an early age. When he wake up, he's in a wheelchair, confined to the bed. And he was cursing the Most High because he was like, damn, because he know he was getting tormented. He knew within the spirit that the Lord was tormenting him. You know what I'm saying?
Game, the life before that, when he went to see the Lord, the Most High was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna plague you in your next life I'm gonna give you worldly wisdom,
And worldly
then I'm
riches.
gonna turn you to a fucking pretzel. You know
I'm
what
gonna turn you to
mean?
a quadriplegic, and that's gonna be your
Now
judgment.
Now go to your quarters now in the spiritual world. Go to your quarters.
Verse 16, it says, there is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
Joy of the mind and a sound body, sound mind. That's just joy to be intact.
Verse 17, it says, that is better than a bitter life or continual sickness.
That's
Death
right.
is better than bitter life and a continued sickness. I just found out a family member of mine, you know, I ain't seen him in some years. He got shot in his back or whatever. So his mom was like, he might be paralyzed or whatever. You know, I took her number, but I didn't go to check him. I'm like, yo, the Lord is just, you know, moving, you know, crazy. Because a lot of people I removed from, you know what I mean? Because in the world, a lot of times I won't even be the cause of this shit, but I get caught up in the shit people was doing around me.
Well, I know some dude that's back in 1993, he got paralyzed, and he's still alive, but he's bitter. I mean, he's bitter, you know, to the point where, you know, my sister is cool with his baby moms, but they ain't together no more. Him and the dude that got paralyzed, they ain't together no more. But
what is it? Is it Vince?
huh?
East New York Vince?
Nah.
Alright,
This some nigga live in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking bitter. I mean, to the point where, I mean, yo, nobody want to be around him, bro. That's how bitter he is. You know what I mean?
And then the side effects of the pain meds make people have outbursts too.
Yeah, but
Like if
he's
they taking them oxys or whatever, they have them flip out.
he's in constant pain, and he's bitter, and he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's paralyzed from the waist down, so he can use his hands and his movement, but he can't use his rod. He ain't getting no buns. That's why he's miserable.
Since 93?
Since 93, yeah. And he's my age. So, you know,
Yeah, man. So when I know we could complain sometimes that we in this situation, but the shit could be worse.
hell yeah.
Yo, I remember a family member told me, like, they was like, yo, you could walk. And it stuck with me, like, yo, and I could see, Lord willing, I stay like that. The little things we take for granted.
Yeah.
There's a disease, and brother showed it that makes your muscle as hard as bone. Like your muscle starts to turn to bone. And you see people like slowly like can't move less and less, and there's nothing to reverse it. Shit like that just puts you in fear of the Lord. Like you imagine like your muscles turning to bone. Damn.
That's the Lord doing that, man.
Crazy. Like they get stuck, like they can't move. Like this shit is wild.
Like you seen this? It was this movie. Okay, bring it. Cut.
Matthew 7:28. And fear not them which shall kill the body,
Yeah.
but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both body and soul.
That's why
in hell.
we fear Yahweh Shai, because they're the ones that sanction whether you cripple, whether you blind, when they bring you back in the body. All right.
Damn.
They're the ones that could torture your physical or your spiritual body, but the physical, you know.
You come back as a
that's why you
quadriplegic.
got to fear the Most High. The Most High. You ever see some people that had acid thrown on them? You know what I mean? So like, yo,
I bleach.
yeah. So you know what I mean? Weaponizing urine and shit because it turns to ammonia.
But this
There's
chick-
no lie in it.
This
Females do that.
This chick got,
Some brothers
yeah.
do.
This chick, she tossed bleach in this chick's eyes, and the chick that got the bleach tossed in her eyes, she's blind out of one eye to this, and the other day, the other eye, she could barely see, but she could see, she could see out of one eye barely, but she living in torment. You know what I'm saying? That happened to her in like the early 2000s, and it was a TikTok video of her, and she's still filled with pride, bro. She's twisted as shit, and she's. You know how these women do on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell that she been disfigured in her face, you know what I'm saying? Because she had bleach tossed on her, you know what I mean? And bleach, when you mix with an ammonia, it becomes lye.
Now, you know them chicks that do them alterations and get the big butt and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, this chick, they looked at, she was on a talk show, she was crying. Nice complexion, hazel greenish eyes, it was a Jake, long hair. And you see her body before that, it was right. But something went wrong with it where her fucking thighs and shit, her ass, that she showed a picture, she was crying. It looked like fiberglass taking out the pipes. I was like, damn, man, they fucked her shit up. You know what I mean?
That's what you get for getting that you know, they're going to get that surgery.
You know that fiberglass up
bro.
here around the pipes? That shit, yeah.
You have,
Hebrews.
it's like, yeah, this one chick in my neighbor, I know her. She died. She went to San Domingo to get a butt surgery. And she was young, so I know her sister. And she died. I mean, she died coming back because the doctor warned her not to get on the plane. But she got on the plane. You can't sit down. You got to lay mobile. She got on the plane and that shit killed her. She died for a butt.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31, and it says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
It's a fearful thing because that's it. Once the Lord put the sanction for them death angels to do that hit, to come do what they have to do, it's it, man, for you.
Ain't no
And that judgment could be swift or it could be torture. A person don't die instant. A lot of people that get them headshots, sometimes they don't die instant right away. They go into convulsions for a few minutes, whatever. You know, like one portion of, I think it's an occipital bone, right? If you get hit there a certain way, it's something with a brainstem, it sinks down, you know, it sinks down, and so the person suffocating.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It's going to convulsions. You got it.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness.
It's the Lord that formed the light, the physical light and wisdom.
It says,
And create darkness.
yes,
That's a
Right here.
actual darkness and a sins. Actual darkness and wickedness.
it says, I make peace and create evil.
I make peace and create evil. So it's the Lord. It's in control of all those things, man.
It says, I, the Lord, do all these things.
The Lord do all these things. He has the angels that carry out the orders. So it's a Lord setup. So the Most High is always and will always be in control.
It's Jeremiah 5 and 22. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea?
That's right. So the Lord placed the sand and the waves when they come in. It's a bound of the sea, the waters.
It says by a perpetual decree that it cannot pass it.
Set the law for it. So it set the law. He set the law for that. The planets. That's why you see the earth stays where it's supposed to be at. The planets stay. And there's no collision unless the Lord ordains it.
It says, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it.
You can't. So it's a bound to where the water, the waves, and everything moves.
Yeah, for the fear of the Lord.
Yeah. So all elements know who the Lord is.
Right.
The elements know who the Lord is. The animals know who the Most High and the Lord is.
The scriptures even tell you that the devils, they tremble at the Lord. You know, which means the demons have a lot more sense in a lot of people. It says, but this people have the revolting and rebellious heart.
The people, especially our people, have a revolting and rebellious heart to not follow orders.
They are revolted and gone.
They're gone, man. Their mind is gone. They ain't doing their own thing.
Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter in his season. He reserveth.
So there's a Lord. So we supposed to fear the Lord that controls the weather and everything. This is showing the power of the Most High. Physical things that we can see.
That's right.
He reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest.
Yep, the time and the seasons. So that's the power to fear. Esau tries to mimic it with his devices, and that's only because the Lord let that happen.
You know another way how you should fear the Lord? Because the Lord created birds. Big ass birds with red eyes, buzzards and vultures that circle and eat the dead.
Yeah, just like our taste buds, like we like lamb, how wine tastes and this and that. Well, the animals that eat that shit, that's how that steak tastes to them.
You got a Komodo.
It might taste like steak to them. They see dead shit, yum, yummy, yummy, yummy. They got that, so this is the power of the Lord with that.
And that's
Nah, for real.
You won't
see
feed-
maggots, you like, yo. You see maggots and shit. Their taste buds ain't like that.
Yeah,
a
cut.
shark, he goes and get that blood from that
Put
sea
like a
creature.
well-cooked meal in front of them. They don't want that.
They don't want that. They
Yeah,
want that.
rotten
Yeah. That's how it
So-
tastes. Now, something fresh that we eat might seem like how we view maggots and shit like that. They see, that's a power of the Most High.
But hey, so you got a big ass bird that's big like this,
Yes.
with wingspan crazy, with red menacing eyes, with crazy claws that will circle around you and watch you die, then feed on you. They don't touch you while you're alive, they feed on you. You're not gonna fear a power
They
that
know
created
that
a
meal
bird
is
like that.
about to be done. It's like it's cooked to them when it's dead.
So exactly, you ain't gonna fear a lizard that the Lord created called a Komodo dragon. That only he had to do was his saliva touch you, and you done.
I got something.
That's crazy, man. The Lord is greatly to be feared.
This is James 2:19. Thou believest that there is one power, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble.
That's right.
These demons, they tremble. You know? And when they speak, when the Lord asks them a question or what they doing or what he wants them to do, they tremble. You know? They don't speak proud.
Hell no. They fear the Lord.
They kneel, yes, Lord, what you want me to do? And they go and they do it.
This is Luke chapter 1, verse 17. That was it. It says, "For we have sinned before the Lord, and disobeyed him, and have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our power, to walk in the commandments that he gave us openly."
So that we have sinned when we don't. He gave us that openly, man. Those orders. We have our own. We have the true laws that we're supposed to go by.
That's right.
It says, "Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt,
Since we was brought out of that captivity of 400 years,
unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our power."
from that time to now, to this present, the multiple lives we have been disobedient, and that's why we're in the situation we're
And
in.
it's-
All right, so you have a person that's always in trouble. They like, yo, why I don't get such this thing like the other kids, or why they get more? Because you just keep getting into trouble, and that's why you jacked up. That's why that happened to us. It made sense. I'm like, yo, I'm catching hell in the world, and then when I hear the apostles, the elders, the bishops, when they bring out the Lord's word, I'm like, God, now everything makes sense to me now. But why these things was happening?
As a kid, I was damn. Wow, we.
Said you had a hex on you. Right? I used to tell
I was saying to myself when I was young, I used to always question, why are we going through this? Why is this? Why is that? But now I got all the answers, you know? And now I got all the answers, and it's a comforting feeling, it's a comforting reality of why I know why we going through these things we going through as a people, you know? So I don't no longer wonder why, because I know. Now, how can we fix it? Turn back to our Lord and seek him 10 times more. And then, hey, with that being said, hey, turn back to the Lord and seek him 10 times more. You got to observe everything he tell you to do within these scriptures, and they will go well with you. Other than that, if you don't do that, you're going off, and you're going to continue to the ways of death, to the Most High destroy you.
It says, since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt, unto this present day, it says, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our power, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice.
Negligence, man. We neglected the Lord's word. Been negligent, and that's why we're jacked up. So,
That's right.
you know, with that, we like to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Bakakadash.
Double honors to our apostles, our bishops, our elders. Honors to all the Akim pushing the truth out in sincerity. All right? Shalom.
Shalom.